So, Alice, you and others, you've done really a great job with the exposures here in sessions. Do you still remember why we picked the public speaking in the first place?
I think it was because a lot of us said that was something that really was difficult for us. And it was we were able to kind of do it. Everyone was new, so we were able to do it in the group and that sort of thing.
Right.
And so that's why I thought that's
right.
why we
That's
were
right.
doing it.
Yes, yes. So, it is a very common fear. We all share that. Everybody is uncomfortable. We can create it in a pretty controlled environment. We can sort of titrate it. We can make it more challenging, less challenging. We can adjust it to your individual concerns by picking certain topics and the like. Now, obviously, this is a very safe environment, which is also a big advantage of doing it in a group setting. However, we now need to really make another big next step. And maybe you remember when we discussed this particular sheet.
Yeah,
remember
right.
that? So here we now want to kind of leap forward and think about how we can implement all these strategies that you learned in session outside of this safe group environment. So in particular, if you remember this particular picture that we discussed, one factor that is quite important, that we believe is a crucial factor that also links to all of you, is sort of the belief that there are certain standards that we need to maneuver. We behave within a certain framework, and everybody knows this kind of what these standards are, but everybody knows these kind of rules that governs our behavior in social interactions. But we need to experiment with that. We need to see if this is actually correct or not. This is what we call social standards, perceived the social standards that you perceive in your environment. And if you believe that you violate them, that you kind of step over these imaginary boundaries, that there are some horrible consequences might follow. Often people think that I can't possibly do that, and there are some long-lasting, irreversible consequences that now are unlikely going to happen. Now, just me telling you that, though, makes perfect sense. This is however, it really doesn't come close to experiencing this very issue. So what we really need to do is to create situations that will allow you to actually examine whether some of these predictions that you have about social situations are accurate. And just as we created these speech situations and compared your imagined performance, your perception, what you believe you would look like, what you believe how you came across with the actual performance. So we will have to also create an environment, situations outside of this group environment to examine whether some of these predictions that you have are actually accurate.
Okay, so if I'm getting what you're saying correctly, so the way that we did here, like if I was worried I was gonna not talk in the speech or forget what I was saying, so we would do something like that, but outside of this room?
Right.
Okay.
Right. Okay. See, social situations are sort of really man-made. We all of us create social situations. They are, in a way, it's sort of a big, how should I say, maybe game we're all playing. We're following certain rules. This, by the way, culturally very specific. Some cultures have different rules than others. And we believe that we need to follow these kind of rules. Now, I want you to step outside your personal limits that you set for yourself and experiment with that. I'm not going to ask you anything that would get you into trouble. I promise you that. I'm not going to ask you anything that will get you arrested, that will actually lead you to get divorced or fired from your job or anything like that.
That's good to know.
That is good to know. I will ask you, however, to step outside your comfort zone. I will ask you to do things that actually most people will feel uncomfortable doing. And most people will say, I would feel very uncomfortable doing that, that's why I'm not doing that. But the whole point now is, why I'm asking you to do that is to put yourself in these situations in order to do what? Why do you think I'm asking that?
To show myself that it's probably not as big a deal as
That's
I
certainly
thought.
one thing, yeah.
And that I can do it. And
That's another thing.
probably if I had social anxiety, I can do it. Other people could probably do it. So I'm not sure what else.
Actually, these kind of situations will allow you to test all of these various parts of the components of your social anxiety that maintains the social anxiety.
Okay.
Most importantly, we target something what we call estimation of social costs. That you believe that something will have a mishap, will have negative consequences. And these negative consequences would somehow be you wouldn't be able to deal with. Now, your rational mind tells you that you can deal with that because you experience some of these situations also here in this group environment.
Right.
Now I want you to experience it in the real environment. We're not going to stage that. And I want you to do mishaps, to actually perform mishaps that will allow you to test whether these predictions are accurate that you have.
Okay.
And I know, and you know, and I know that they're not accurate. But the only way we can convince your anxious mind is to actually doing it. That's the only way we can do it. No, it sounds frightening, doesn't it? But you know what the good thing is? Everybody is frightened about it. We all work together on that. And we will all support each other. And we will experiment with it to see how it goes. My job is to push you as hard as you let me push you. So I will push you quite hard, and your job is then to tell me, look, this is too much, I can't do it. But at the same time, I really do want you to step into a zone that you have not experienced, outside your comfort zone.
Okay. Yeah, that does sound scary, but I mean, I'm willing to try it, I guess, if the whole group is as well. So then, yeah. And we'll just see how it goes, but yeah, that sounds scary.